hey, you want to make a woman wear a full body scarf and service you at all times?
Yeah, that's
and they're like, yeah, we want that.
We totally want that.
Over here, they put on a fedora.
Oh, God, Daniel's going to join ISIS. Oh, man. Greetings, citizens of the internet.
If you go anywhere on the street, they're all selling the same strawberry wine that they get from the farms that run up there. And one place will have it and it'll be $14 for a bottle of wine. And one place will have it and they want $28 for the bottle of the same wine. I went to the CVS drugstore and they had it in the cooler there for $6.
Yep.
I bought the sweet version because I like sweet things. Stood out there and drank it on the curb out of a paper sack like a wino.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
But then I realized joke was on me because there's not enough alcohol in it. And I went from sick at my stomach from the sugar syrup.
Yep. And
I went from sick at my stomach to hungover without ever passing through drunk.
Yep. I've done that a couple times.
And then I was hungover and sick to my stomach eating a $14 steak sandwich on the mean streets of Ponchatoula.
Yeah.
Surrounded by carnies and Guidos and country music.
So my buddy Ryan has this great story about being drunk in New Orleans. And drunk in New Orleans and looking for weed. So he goes into New Orleans and, him and a bunch of friends are partying or whatever. And they're drunk as a skunk and they start looking for weed. Well, they got a guy who they think he can get him somewhere, but he's got to get in a car and go somewhere with this dude. So he's already a little sketchy, but he's like, all right. So he gets in the car and goes somewhere with this dude. And he gets out and goes in this house, and a guy tries to sell him a gun with the numbers filed off. And he's like, no, I didn't want a gun. I was looking for some weed. And the guy goes, oh, well, I don't have any weed for sale, but I'll smoke you out. And he's like, okay. So the guy goes to roll in the joint. And he turns around as the guy's sprinkling like either crack or meth or coke. It was some upper or something he was putting on top of the weed. And he was like, fuck, now I got to smoke this or this motherfucker's going to shoot me. God damn it. So yeah, that night he stayed, or after that night he stayed up for like 3 days with whatever this shit was. He was not very happy, but that's what you get for trying to buy weed in New Orleans without a connection.
Yeah, and I've heard similar tales of that, especially when we were in Germany. It was a pretty
that had to be fun.
Tragicomic tale. It pretty much ended with a guy having a ball of hash resin pressed into his bare hand on a train.
Wow.
And then he was forced to wander around Nuremberg with this sticky wad stuck on his hand. He can't get it off and he can't throw it away because he paid like... there's a chain of 8 dudes that he had to pay off to get this wad of crap, and it's stuck to his hand like a messy shit, and he can't let anybody see it. So he's wandering around with his hand under his jacket like he's jacking it in the street. It was ridiculous.
Well, the whole idea that it's we're this far in society and pot's still illegal. Fucking retarded. That anything's still illegal. Look at what we did with alcohol prohibition. That's exactly what we're doing with every other illegal thing that we have out there. Apart from killing. There's not a that's reasonable. But
our lab has a dude in it who pretty much his only job is to identify chemical backbones of synthetic cannabinoids.
That sounds amazing.
Because
well, they're everywhere, and they give you seizures and all kinds of bad shit.
Well, pretty much what happens is the original synthetic ones were pretty close to THC.
Yes.
And then those got banned.
Yep, they keep moving.
And they keep changing it to be different. But now we have this dude that just IDs the backbones. And he's like, anything with this chemical backbone is illegal.
Okay.
Because they've gotten to these giant... complex molecules that go straight to your, serotonin receptors and explode, and you have 13 different kinds of seizures, and it's terrible because some dude in Kashmir is just spraying grass clippings with a...
Well, I tried. I have tried some of that stuff. I forget what brand it was. I was dating a absolutely insane chick who knew exactly what the fuck she was doing in the bedroom. So I was dating her, and she had to take a drug test or something, so she was on it. and she gave me a hit of what I thought was a joint. It turned out to be this stuff. I immediately knew because it tasted like plastic. Like it tastes like plastic and like incense. It's just a weird taste.
Some of them are actually based on parabens.
Yeah. But I gave it back to her, and I immediately got a headache, and I was as high as I have ever been in my entire life for about 5 minutes, and then it completely went away and just left me with a splitting fucking
Then you
headache.
wanted to die.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was just like, why would you do this to yourself? This is the worst thing.
Nobody knows any better. And then it's like, what? Yeah. Weed? Okay. No, this stopped being weed years ago.
Yeah.
Now this thing it's like a borderline. Some of them are borderline prions.
You'll have to explain to me what prions are.
It's like engineered viruses that affect specific areas in your brain.
Yeah, and the shit is really bad for you. Like, it does damage. Like,
you
just smoke a joint. Seriously, it's not that hard to find.
Denude your integumentary tissue.
Right. Like, do not like
scurvy.
Seriously, just most of it's cheap. It's cheaper even if you just go and buy some fucking Mexican dirt weed. It's cheaper, and it's going to be much better for you than buying the synthetic shit.
But that's another episode of business politics ruining everything because nobody gave a shit about marijuana. Everybody was on marijuana until the 30s when people who didn't want it produce the rum runners.
They didn't want the hemp production.
The hemp production decided to attach it to Mexican laborers coming in. Reefer madness happens.
Fuck our white women. That's a problem. Nobody can be fucking our white women.
It's a precious commodity.
It is. It is really. Even though there are a bunch of white women out there that want that big black dick, and that's fine. That's fine.
Everybody wants that.
I know, it's true. If you look at all the cock pills that are out there, they just advertise. Black cock is the name of one of them.
That's racist.
I don't. Yeah, it's racist, but it's a good racism, I think. Racism doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing.
Now, I forget who it was. Some comedian had a bit about that. Like everybody gets pissed off the black stereotype and gets mad about watermelon and chicken. But you ask a black dude if he has a big dick, they're all like, yeah.
One of my favorite,
which is racist.
It is racist. One of my best friends has a very racist picture. And he's a black dude, and he's got a drumstick in one hand, a slice of watermelon in the other, and he's in some overalls, and he's got like a straw hat on. I love that man, and I love that picture. He became my friend because I saw that picture, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're buddies. We're buddies. That's happening."
You get the watermelon.
Yeah, need some of that watermelon.
Jesus Christ!
I know, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and he's a great, smart, intelligent guy. He just likes to poke fun at the whole racial stereotype.
Oh yeah, I know how that is.
And he'll give you shit for it, but if you call him on his bullshit, he'll be all right.
It's like church people, man.
Oh, church people. I love church people. They're amazing to talk to for about 5 minutes.
I don't know, man. There's some Game of Thrones shit going on in them churches.
That's very true.
Especially in the Protestant ones.
Protestant churches. What Protestant churches do we have around here?
Around here?
Yeah. There's all Baptist shit here.
We got
and a few
there's
Catholics.
A Unitarian church.
I know. My boss's wife runs it, or she runs like their homeschooling division or something like that, or used to.
I thought they was all Catholic.
No. She's like Queen of the Druids, or I don't know what she is, but she belongs to some community of Druids, and as far as I can tell,
St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee.
Right. As far as I can tell, my boss is probably into Asatru. He's all focused on the Vikings and all the Norse mythology.
I know a couple of them folks.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just you work in a Catholic organization. I don't know.
I don't know. Catholicism is.
It's a strange.
It's a weird pirate ship.
It is a very strange pirate ship. I don't know. I do like New Pope. New Pope seems pretty decent. Pretty decent fellow.
New Pope can eat a dick.
You don't like New Pope?
I don't like Pope.
I don't like Pope in general, but what do you think about New Pope?
No, he can eat a dick.
Yeah? Why do you think he can eat a dick?
Because
he's Pope?
He's full of shit.
He's
full of shit. Like, yeah, okay, you went down to the poorhouse and washed some dude's feet.
Jess, I think most people are full of shit.
I know most people. I'm a pro full of shit.
I love the Kim Jong-un. No, I love him. I love him to death because he wants the world to think he's the big goofball that the world perceives him as. That's a tactic, and it's working.
I don't know, but if I want to see more Pope Alexanders,
Yeah,
just go for it.
remind me of
Have
Pope
a giant.
Alexander.
He was a Borgia, had giant prostitute parties.
Oh
people
yeah,
going around,
yeah, okay, yeah, that one.
naked hookers scrambling
That's
on the
the way
ground,
to do it, I think.
picking up chestnuts, people jizzing on each other.
That's the way to do it, I think. Well, the Catholic Church is still own the largest gay bathhouse in the world. That's always been a fascination to me.
What, like the Vatican?
No, it's in Italy. It's next to the Vatican, but it is the largest gay bathhouse in the world.
I don't know. Well, for a long time, they had a big religious schism about that because one of those bishops got popped because it was against the rules at the time to have sex with grown dudes. You had to have sex with a boy.
Well, that's still a practice in the Middle East, from what I hear from a lot of the stories.
There's an old Afghani folk tune called "There's a Boy Across the River with an Ass Just Like a Peach." I mean, this is not new. People trying to fuck.
That's true. That's true. People just want to fuck. It shouldn't be. I don't think there should be any problems with that. Who cares?
I mean, I'm for it.
I'm all for it. Yeah, I think that's great. Go for it. Get laid, people.
Not kids though.
No, don't fuck the children.
No, don't do that.
Do not fuck the children. Let's rewind that a little bit. Please don't fuck the children.
No.
It's just, common courtesy. If I was a child, I wouldn't want to be fucked. Don't fuck the children.
Just don't do it.
Yes.
Public service announcement.
I think there's a problem with our prudishness here in America.
Oh, 100%.
Like the people that actually do want to fuck children but don't fuck children, they can't go get help for that thing that they need. They can't go talk to somebody about that.
No, you can't talk to they showed a nipple.
Oh God, that was the most hilarious fucking thing.
Traffic stopped.
The world ended that day because a nipple was shown on
grounded.
TV. Oh no! It's not like everyone has a nipple.
Justin Timberlake was killed and replaced with a double.
That's true. He was. I never understood that. I also didn't understand. I don't understand with the. I mean, I guess I do kind of understand it. With the news media likes to tout about, oh, Justin Bieber got a DUI. Who gives a fuck? Like
a lot of really angry moms, apparently.
Apparently, and
that's pretty much what America at heart is, a nation of beer watering innkeepers and castigating hover moms.
This is why I love you, Jess.
That's the beginning.
You talk so dirty
story.
to me.
But it was hilarious when I was in Europe. You could always tell who was American because they'll just put a titty on a billboard.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, here's a woman. Here's a titty. The thing they're selling way down on the bottom. It's like, go buy.
It's a thing.
Hey, come buy our bread. Look at these titties.
Look at tits.
Whatever.
Tits. We've got bread. If you want some.
People would get off the subway, right in front of the subway, and they get off, and it would be like Superman being burned with kryptonite. Because everybody, you've seen it. But you know, it's like, wow!
Oh, it's a titty. Oh, I don't like a titty.
Why, Jesus?
I look at a nice pair. Yeah, that's a nice tits.
People recoiling.
I should probably buy their bread. They have tits.
Bread sucked.
I know it does. I'm sure it did.
It was a trap.
But still, I think it's ridiculous that we you can see violence all over TV. That's fine, but anything sexual at all, that's you can't go anywhere near that. It's so fucking weird. Yeah, I agree.
I blame John Calvin for everything. Everything that's wrong with America, I lay at the feet of John fucking Calvin.
John Calvin. Who's John Calvin?
John Calvin, one of the Protestant revolutionaries, pretty much the dude in charge of Puritanism.
Oh, fantastic.
Said it because if you are poor, it's because Jesus doesn't love you and you don't work enough.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
It's pretty, the first Republican, really.
Right.
You need to work. Like, they don't talk about a lot of this crap in early history, but there was a town in colonial America that was set up by the Dutch, and the Dutch didn't give a shit.
Of course not. I love the Dutch for that.
They were
They still don't give a shit.
They were just trying to make that money. They were trying to stack that paper. So there was a town called Marymount in America, got burned down twice by Puritans. They just went and burned it down. They're like, sorry, you don't go to church enough. We're going to burn this. We're going to burn this.
I love that mindset. I just picture a bunch of I picture my family, basically, is what I picture. And they're just sitting around, you know what? We need to burn this town down. They ain't with the Jesus.
It's ridiculous. Like, a lot of people, like, having been in the Baptist tradition for as long as I have, I've seen a lot of their superstars. But, like, Martin Luther, they have this dude that they like to quote a lot. His name was Joseph Zwingli.
I believe I've heard that name.
And he was a contemporary of Martin Luther, and he wrote a whole bunch of salty shit about how the Catholic Church would not let priests get married, but let them hire prostitutes.
Of course.
Which was because at the time, they recognized...
I'm totally for
people are trying to bone.
I think there should be, at least once a month, somebody from the congregation should buy the priest a prostitute. I think that's a community service. And they're like, you can't get married
because they just argue about this Pharisaical J-June nonsense, which is what the whole schism was about to begin with. But they don't talk about how he actually died, and he died in the siege of a town because he went in there on the wall through a breach trying to kill Catholics.
Sounds like fun.
But they talk about, radical Islam and all that crap. But a lot of people,
Christianity,
they don't
we
treat
come
that,
from a radical.
They're just having the same fight that we had 600 years ago with new and exciting technology involved.
Yeah. So do you think there'll be peace in the Middle East? Do you think we can get there again? Because it used to be a really cool fucking
30 and 40
place.
years ago, it wasn't cuckoo pants like this.
It went all, theocracy.
That you can lay that on the CIA because they R-bends the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I think that's a lot of where a lot of the stink and a lot of the conspiracy theories come out is that, we did have a hand in making this fucking enemy that we're fighting now. Well, they did it with
that, and Britain, when they decided that they were just going to invent Israel.
Yeah.
You guys go here. And to be fair, a lot of shit popped off that probably shouldn't have popped off.
Yeah.
But now everybody's acting like they're confused because they don't have this 200,000-year prophecy to lay on.
Right. Well, but I also hate the idea of these proxy wars where, we're going to fund this group to give them an edge over this other group that we don't like because they don't like our policies.
Like 20 years later, it's going to bubble over like a giant pot of fuck me.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is where we are right now.
Right. I mean, come on. If you're a family and you live in the Middle East and, we invaded them because we thought they had some shit we didn't. Or at least that was what the people were sold.
He tried to kill my father.
Right, exactly. Come on. So, a bomb goes off down the block and it shatters all the windows in your house. We are effectively the terrorist over there. We are creating our own enemies. As a child growing up in that environment, are you not going to be more prone to joining the people that blew up your fucking house and killed your grandparents? Or are you going to go join the... ISIS or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves.
And there's a lot of disaffected Europeans in there, too.
I have noticed, which is fascinating to me. I love seeing these pasty white
Europe,
teenagers sitting next to these jihadi people.
They have their own Dylan Klebold's and Dylan Roofs over there. They just go join ISIS because they're fedoras. Yeah. They're like, hey, you want to make a woman wear a full body scarf and service you at all times?
Yeah, that's
and they're like, yeah, we want that.
We totally want that.
Over here, they put on a fedora.
Oh, God, Daniel's going to join ISIS. Oh, man.
Call somebody. He's going to do it.
He is. He's probably. Put him on the watch list. Please put him on the watch list.
We need to go over there.
We should. We should definitely. He needs to be on the watch list. Someone intervene, please.
We're going to go, 4 months from now, there's going to be a pasty, bald, and white dude over there. He's going to be the new bulldozer of Fallujah. We're going to be like, we should have said something.
Excuse me. Think about Daniel in that situation. Think about him all dressed up in his garb. Do you not think he could pull it off? Do you think he'd pull it off?
I know, that's a disturbing part.
I know, I think he can pull it off.
Because all he's got to do is grow a beard.
That's all he has to do.
He's got to grow a beard.
Yeah. Yeah, he can totally pull it off.
Crap.
God damn it. Daniel's going to be a part of ISIS.
That's ridiculous.
I know it.
But seriously, though, ISIS is a joke. It's always been a joke. Like Al-Qaeda's a joke.
Al-Qaeda's always... That was a huge joke.
Like the people who were doing real crap, the Chechens, Lashkar-e-Jhangvi.
Well, I like the people that even the people that were responsible for the whole 9/11 thing, we kicked our side of it off. Even the people that were responsible for that, like, they're all Saudi Arabians. Yeah.
Let's go. Saudi Arabia's #1 export is disgruntled Muslims.
Exactly.
because the religion says, hey, you have to come here. Mm-hmm. Everyone, you have to come here. They find the ones that are likely to start shit and point them at things that they want to keep off.
Right, but I like that we didn't go over there. We didn't like plant ourselves. They're friendly with us right now because they're giving us oil. Money. Right, they're giving us lots of oil.
I'm trying to get that oil.
Yeah.
I mean, ho!
Well, right now they're driving the price down. I mean, which is, I don't know.
They're trying to play a mutually assured destruction game that they don't know they can't win.
I didn't really, like, I kind of vaguely got the idea of what they were doing, but I have no idea what it is that they're doing. What are they doing?
Okay, OPEC nations are because Russia, whose sole money-making thing is natural gas.
I like how they went into the Ukraine, just like, nope, that's mine, and nobody said anything because they sell all the natural gas.
There's Gazprom.
Yeah.
Russia should change its name to Gazprom because that's what it is. And they think there's a conspiracy, the House of Saud does, between America and Russia to drive the price of oil down. And you have to keep in mind that gas in Saudi Arabia is like a nickel a gallon.
To be amazing.
And all they go out there and drive these diamond encrusted ATVs.
I've seen the cars
with leopards in them.
It's amazing.
And they can't believe that.
Well, I like even the police force that like they have Bugatti Veyrons and like they have to have these super crazy souped out cars.
They do that. Even those ladies going around in full niqab buy these ridiculously expensive watches. They got stuff, Rolexes.
What do you think about the prostitution trade over there?
The
prostitution trade over there, because women from here will go over there and work, just a few months as a prostitute and come home with,
there's rules for them. They all drink.
Yeah, and they're not supposed to. That's illegal.
Yeah, they have that's for po folk.
Yeah,
because they got that money milk, but they can't believe that money milk about to dry up.
That's true.
So what they're doing is trying to drive down the price enough to where they think that we are going to cut production or something, anything that's going to send the price back up, because they think that our economy is hostage to oil prices as much as theirs is, which is true in Louisiana, but it's not true in the rest of the country. So they figure that at the very least they'll take a shot at it and make it as irritating as possible for the oil interests that run literally everything.
That makes sense.
Because Halliburton and Exxon et al. Are taking it in the shorts right now.
So what do you think about the idea of people not believing that corporations have a big influence in our politics? Do you not think that's fucking ridiculous?
That's incredibly stupid, but that's because people don't know any better. They're insulated.
Well, I think that a lot of them, they'll go so far as to, they call for things that are directly against their own interest.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's amazing what people can be convinced of.
Just describe the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because they don't have to know anything.
Right.
You don't have to have knowledge.
Well, he believes in Jesus, and so I believe in him.
Because so much of the things in America are already done.
Right.
Like even somebody who does like janitorial work, which I'm not trying to shit on because God knows we need that.
Of course we do.
And it's not like you're less of a person because you push a mop.
I'm sure there are a lot of really cool dudes.
It doesn't take a lot of training
to
do that kind of thing. But even somebody who does that is making money that on a global scale
quite good, probably.
Is obscene.
Yeah.
Like we can buy, like back in the day, they had this thing in Bangladesh called the Grameen Bank that lended people money like in terms of 10, 15 cents. It was making loans because people ran businesses picking plastic bags off of trees that had blown in off the ocean, because Bangladesh is like in the armpit of Asia and every tsunami that happens goes through there. And they sold those. Like, you might need a bag. You go on the market, you need a bag. Buy this bag for a nickel. And they ran a business on that.
Yeah.
And somebody over here making $12 an hour doing something that's 2 weeks' pay. Somebody just made in an hour. And that's starting to even out a little bit due to globalization, because corporations know no nationality. That's why so many people moved over to Ireland to get out of taxes.
Well, I think it's fascinating that most people, even in third world countries, have cell phones.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I think that's brilliant.
You got to have one.
Yeah.
There's market saturation.
Of course.
You got to move into a new market, and they're cheap over there.
They're dirt cheap.
Also, it's totally ridiculous, but the heavy metal that they use to make those things work comes from like one place.
Right.
In Kazakhstan, and that stuff is worth many times more than gold.
Well, that's a lot of what caused problems in Africa was the whole mineral rights and everything that companies were fighting over when the whole place was being, colonized by Britain.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Between actually, Herbert Hoover gets a lot of shit for the Depression, but one thing he did do was open up the mining industry in Australia, which kind of ameliorated the worst excesses of Leopold and company, who have butt-fucked Africa
I've heard about
forever.
Leopold, yeah. He's not a very well-liked character over there.
No, well, he's an asshole,
yeah.
or was an asshole. But, like the diamond industry right now, chemically, if all the diamonds we had got released, we'd be paving our driveways with them.
Exactly.
It's a giant ad blitz that has made diamonds the thing they are now.
Well, that's one problem. My wife wants a wedding ring, a really nice one, and just looking at the cost of diamonds, it's like they're fucking everywhere, and I don't want to pay a stupid amount of money for a rock that's fucking everywhere.
It's carbon.
Yeah, it's the most common fucking thing we've got. I mean, no, I don't want to pay for it. I'm going to because I'm a good husband and I love my wife, but
if she's listening,
silly fucking
it's
idea.
Cubic zirconium. He's full of shit. I've seen it. It's yellow. It's full of inclusions. Look at it. Look at it.
It's tool grade, okay? It's tool grade. It's good enough to be considered a diamond.
It's useful.
Yeah,
she gets in a diehard situation.
Exactly.
Thinking.
Yeah, MacGyver. My wife is MacGyver.
Sitting over here making me party to a criminal conspiracy.
Yeah. Anyway, Jess, what have you got left, man? I don't know. I'm running empty on topics.
Oh my god, whew.
We can. I have literally nothing to do besides sober up on 3 beers.
You little dick motherfucker.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't drink anymore, man. I got kids and all that shit. It's just...
I wish I'm just over here clutching my money. When are you going to get a date, man?
Fuck you and your date.
No,
I've after this one, if this one doesn't work out, I'm not saying it will. I love my wife. I'm committed to making this
Cubic zirconium.
But if this doesn't work out, I don't think I'd date again. I think I'm done. I'm not going to be one of those MGTOWs or men's rights activist fuckheads, but I'm just not.
I don't care anymore.
I don't care anymore. Yeah, exactly. I'm just done with the whole rat race.
I'm just going to spend my money on booze.
Yeah.
But I'm going to drink it.
Or crazy trips to wherever I want to go. If I have that much money. I don't know.
What's the worst that could happen? Drinking booze. Well, you could end up in a car with a dude smoking a adulterated joint.
I could.
But really, you don't have... What are you gonna...
Or I could just buy his firearm. I mean, that's all I'm saying. You could just purchase the firearm.
Don't do it. That thing is hot as shit.
No shit, Sherlock.
Also, if you filed a serial number on it, don't do it because we just burn that shit off with acid because it's stamped in there.
I'm sure you'd still be able to read it.
Yeah, I'll just burn it off. There's the stamps. If you're gonna fuck it up, you have to stamp over it with nonsense until it's illegible. Not that you should do that.
Well, thank you for that tip, Jones.
Also, there's a lot of places on it. There's more than one.
I'm sure.
You have to take that thing down and strip it. Some people like the really advanced ones. FN, Heckler and Koch. All their stuff is internally stamped.
Hidden somewhere.
You'd have to...
you'd have to have some sort of specialized machinery to get to it?
Well, you'd have to destroy the action of the gun to get into it. They do all kind of creep shit like that.
That's pretty intense.
Your car is like that too. The VIN number, all up in it. GPS communicating with everything. That's what I say. You're getting watched.
Yeah.
All the time. They're like, well, what if I want to hurt and derp? The worst thing that could happen to you is for you to get your Google search history flushed onto the internet.
Yeah, I'm not particularly... I really don't give a shit who sees my Google search history. If you're really that interested in me, I got to tell you, I'm not all that interesting. Like, if you really want my Google search history, you can fucking have it. I don't care. You're not going to find anything in there that I'm not going to tell you to your face. And if it offends you, well, then you shouldn't be looking at my fucking internet history.
You're a better man than I am, Gunga Dan. Because I'd have to move states if I got flushed on the internet.
Oh, I'm not saying that there wouldn't be a lynch mob outside my door. I'm just saying.
It's like, well,
I guess this is it.
I'm going to have to get a haircut and lose some weight in a hurry. Cut my nose off. Or wear a burqa.
Yeah, that's it. I'd go. I'd have cross dress.
Just shumping because I'm in some real trouble here, folks. That's everybody.
That's true.
But you know that.
Well, I like the numbers that come out of the South. Is we search more gay porn than anybody else. The more gay porn comes out of the Bible Belt is search
the forbidden fruit, man.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. You got to go to Utah. I've been to Utah.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Let me tell you, can do
for people watching. That sounds like fun.
You could do some shit in Utah with a 6-pack of beer. If you can get the bro to drink it, you will hear some shit.
Sounds like fun.
They will.
If anybody's listening from Utah and want to come on the show,
holy crap! You
give me a
talk
call
about some repression.
I can imagine.
But dude, we joke about all the time, like some dude from the Victorian era getting hot. It's like something that hussey's showed her ankle at the. There's bros over there that are like, Lord have mercy, Jesus! Look at that! Look at that! I seen it. I seen that ankle.
Well, I imagine if that's the only thing you get to see, like if it's usually like fully covered,
you get weird about it real quick. I imagine
so. Yeah. Well, yeah, even if you don't, crank one out every now and again, you get fucking weird. Or if you crank one out too often, you get to some weird places too.
You're pretty much boned either way.
Yeah.
So you might as well just find it's on the internet.
What do you think about the idea of sex addiction? Do you think that's a ridiculous idea?
I don't know. I can't.
You think it's possible?
Well...
See, I tend to err on the side that it's a cop out for men who got caught cheating.
Maybe whatever. I think I think what it is a lot of people look at sex as a validation of themselves because everybody wants to get human contact. You can go on the internet.
Well, it's just good for you.
Well, it's 400,000 people talking about sat at home, watched Netflix, and pet my cat. Sat in the Snuggie for 3 days. I'm going to hell. I'm going to die alone. And I think that, the end-all, be-all of human interaction is when you finally get to have sex with somebody. Now you're...
Dude, hugs are amazing. Hugs are the fucking
best. Hugs are the best.
I love hugs.
Oh, my God. Get real about your
hugs
life.
Are the shit, yeah. If you're close enough with someone to, to hug them, go hug them right now.
But,
They're amazing.
That's pretty much what sex addiction is somebody trying to get something out of sex that you can't get out of sex.
Yeah.
You're not going to get validated as a person. So they're just
really.
Whatever. I'll fuck a dude. No, I'll fuck it. Women, fuck it. We'll fuck it. One of these things is going to mean something eventually. Yeah. It's got to.
Well, I think that there was a lot of, or at least my experience with the ex drug addict that I dated. She was recovering, and all that kind of good stuff. But I think she replaced sex, or she replaced drugs with sex. And that became her drug, which was fun for a little while. I got to tell you, folks, just don't marry her.
You dirty motherfucker. But no, people can't be real and open with each other now because you see and
that's a huge problem with
every comedy we have is just a product of people misunderstanding subtext.
Right. I see. I don't. That's a problem with me because I don't buy into that whole. You got to be this alternate person that you've got this alternate persona that you've got to put out there. I don't want to do it. It seems like too much work and too much effort. Fuck you. How about I just be me as best as I can be, and if you don't like it, then fuck off.
I don't know. I kind of the opposite mindset of that. I'm 100% in favor of lying to people because you know what? That's considerate. Honesty.
I'm not saying you have to be like brutally honest.
I'm not talking about being, radical honesty crap, but I'm just saying be real about it.
Yeah.
Even if, you have to be considerate of the other person's feeling, but other people think that honesty is licensed to treat other people as a validation factory for you. Like, I don't like the crap you do. You're not.
I think that's just a dick. That's just being a dick.
Well, that is just being a dick.
Yeah.
And it is like 99% of human people.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Being a dick
but
ass.
I don't think, at least for me, I want to be just real with someone. I don't have to. I guess I got caught up in the idea that I have to pretend to be this person for my work, because if somebody finds out that I'm this person, they're going to get fired, or they're going to look at me different. When with the reality I had to accept was, who gives a shit? Like I really cannot be bothered with trying to build this fake persona and have them follow it.
Yeah, everybody's way more solipsistic than they're willing to admit.
Right. And I think people are a lot like it. Even if you look at my office, if you look at the people that are there, if you see them outside the office, they're completely different fucking people. And most of the time, they're a lot cooler outside the office than they are in the office. I don't know. I think people as individuals are better than groups. Most of them. I don't know. Most of them are idiots.
Well, there's a lot of force-conformed behavior, and sometimes that's good. Because,
well, yeah, I think in some ways, yeah.
There were times when if you wanted something, you just knocked the bro over the head and took it.
Right.
And what we have now is a culmination of a long history of that. But a lot of times you have to stop and look and say, what part of this group is malignant, and what do we need to excise, and what do we need to keep?
Right.
And I think, people will be a lot comfortable talking about the crap they want to talk about. But everybody, like nerdery. Nerd stuff is dead. Nerdery is dead.
I know it is. It was a thing for a while.
There are no niche interests. Everything is a niche interest. There's too much crap in the world. We're hitting this nowadays. People going to college, like used to be, you had to spend 12 years of your whole life just learning crap that everybody else already knew.
Yeah.
Basic stuff. Like the first 10 years of your life. 15 years of your life are figuring out how to operate your own flesh.
Yep.
Like, how do I make this foot go where I need it to go without tripping over this gawky ass knee that grew a foot in the last 3 years? It's stupid, and people still don't know it. And now we know so much. People are in college for forever because there's so much crap to know. You can't possibly know it all. You'd be in school until you were 45.
Well, I think the most valued thing that you can have in an employee isn't a college degree. I think it's the ability to learn. I think that's the only thing you really need is someone smart enough to learn something.
It's a wondrous thing to be educable.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you really need. So I fought for my position in my job just because then they weren't originally going to give it to me because I didn't have a degree, when I had already been doing the job for 2 years. And it's like, no, I'm intelligent. I just don't happen to have the level of education that you're looking for that doesn't even have to be in any particular field.
Yeah.
It could be anything. I could have a degree in history. It doesn't fucking matter as long as I had the piece of paper, which makes no sense whatsoever.
But yeah, you can't throw shade at people for not knowing stuff because there's so much stuff to know. Last semester, we sat with a dude who did his dissertation about how termites caused Katrina.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I want to read that.
Then I
want to read that.
It was perfectly sensible.
Oh, all right.
It made it because they use this thing in the levees. The levees are these big earth berms with concrete thing. You've seen them.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense now.
But from an engineering standpoint, this was brilliant because they use this material called bagasse to seal the concrete together. And what
bagasse?
Bagasse, BAGASSE, bagasse.
All right,
and it's a Louisiana thing because what it is sugarcane husks.
Oh God, no!
Kerosene and tar poured together, and it makes an unbelievable heat seal. It expands beautifully when it gets hot. It doesn't get brittle when it gets cold.
We got a shit
ton of... It breathes, and it's holding the levee together. And from an engineering standpoint, it's cheap as shit.
Yeah, well, we got a shit ton of sugar cane.
From an engineering standpoint, it was a brilliant idea. It was like solder the whole thing together for pennies on the dollar. From an entomological perspective, not so good because it's in New Orleans, which is riddled with termites, and termites love bagasse like a fat child loves cake.
Okay.
And they went in there, got in there, ate the things up,
the levees, weakened them,
made these giant earth berms, made nests of them, and the pressure of the river led to an undercutting. Water bubbled up on the other side of the levees because of these termite tunnels just going every which damn way underneath everything, and that was one of the root causes of the levee failure of Katrina. It's incredible crap. I had no idea.
Yeah.
How would I have an idea if I had not been there at that specific high-level college graduate class to hear about that? And it's just like there's people doing physics. There's dudes in space right now doing physics on a space rock. I don't know anything about that. Somebody's got to do it. So specialized knowledge is now the norm.
Yeah.
Nerdery is as mainstream as it can be.
Yeah, I think so. But I like I like all the stuff that comes out of physics and the sciences and stuff like that, but I don't claim to really understand any of that shit. It's not my specialty. It's not
layman's understanding.
Right, I have a layman's understanding of it. But to say
everybody knows that, like forensic anthropology, that kind of crap. People know basically what it is. And if I start rapping about Lister's tubercle and all that crap, nobody's going to get it, but they don't have to.
Right.
Because
you get the general idea.
I have an incredibly niche understanding of forensic crap and related fields.
You see, Jess, there's this handprint in stone next to a dinosaur footprint that proves that man walked with dinosaurs.
I'm doing the face again. I mean, you can't see it, but I'm doing it again. But yeah, people do that all the time. It's the new thing.
Yeah.
People whine about millennials being in college for 40 forever.
Yeah. Well,
somebody's got to do it.
Yeah,
because the amount of stuff that's basic knowledge now just keeps getting bigger. It's not getting any smaller. And people who don't elect to partake in it seem really stupid. Yeah, they're not necessarily stupid, but they just haven't picked it up because you know what?
It doesn't apply to their everyday life. I mean, they have no need for it.
And we got to have a place for all those people.
I mean, but you ask me, how an access list for a firewall should be designed to, harden that system. I got you. But, you ask me, some of the ins and outs of string theory. I don't know. You got some ideas about it, but I don't fucking know.
Somebody started talking about kernels and crap, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. There's popcorn in the computer that did something. I know that's not what happened.
Let's see, it's a kernel panic. That's when the popcorn kernels, that's right before they pop, they get excited about the anything at all. Like you could be a ghost and just scare them.
And you do it, and you know how, men know not to ask directions.
Yes, of course.
Because we know that no matter if we know where the place is or not, we're going to tell the guy something.
Yes.
It's the same thing. I've gotten people ask me about computer crap. I don't know from Adam.
Right.
I'm like, oh, what you got? The packets are not moving through.
That's what it is.
You probably, you know what? Why don't you call the help desk and tell them your packets are fucked up? Because you downloaded too many toolbars or something. And now
I've seen some messes of
now your packets are boned.
It's true. It's all the packets.
And they don't know any better.
You see, the internet's a series of tubes. And right now it's clogged with cats and porn.
Oh my. It is loaded with it.
I'm telling you.
The internet is not a big truck. You know what's sad? We're probably too old for people to remember Ted Stevens actually saying that.
Are we that too old?
He's been dead for like a decade.
Yeah.
Sean O'Keefe was chancellor when he said that crap.
That's insane. All right, so I've been... Just the amount of time that it seems like I've been on this planet just seems to have gone by like that.
SpongeBob
faster and faster and
SpongeBob SquarePants is 15 years old.
Wow.
SpongeBob SquarePants has been on the air for 15 years.
That's crazy. Think about The Simpsons. Simpsons has been around since before I was alive. I think.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Matt Groening is making a third series.
Wow.
That makes me insanely angry.
It should.
Because he did The Simpsons, which is driving itself into the ground as he said it would.
I can't watch it anymore.
Still making money.
Yeah.
Still making money. Then he doo-dooed out Futurama, which made money hand over fist.
I liked Futurama.
It was great.
It was.
Which
I
was
loved it.
What makes me so mad. He just... billion-dollar enterprise.
Yeah, we're just done with
that.
Now
he's going to do another one, and he's going to do the same thing. People are going to be like, oh my God, because he's going to bring back Life in Hell or something like that. And the people who are just getting old enough to be of the age where they want their childhood to be repackaged and sold back to them are going to eat it up. And he is just going to be making Bill Gates money, and it makes me nuts.
It should.
It makes me nuts.
It should make you nuts.
I'm working a government job, and if Bernie Sanders gets elected president and they raise the minimum wage, I'm going to get a raise. That makes me mad.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm doing my part.
That's
doing
true.
my part for the country.
It's true, Mark.
By digging up all these dead-ass people.
Well, you know.
And finding out why they got there.
You gotta do what
Somebody's got to do it.
It's true. It's a very job.
Because otherwise it's Bob the Constable just kicking the shit out of Tom Chicken Diddler every day.
Well, you know, chicken diddling's kind of fun. You ever get your hands around a fresh chicken? It's fantastic.
Have you ever dealt with a chicken? I raised chickens.
I hate chickens.
That never in 1,000 years. I almost died. A chicken attacked me. It was like Mortal Kombat.
Chickens are fucking mean, by the way.
It came at me like Sub-Zero. It was like uppercut.
They are small dinosaurs, and they would fucking kill you given the opportunity. You ever get? We had guineas. We didn't have chickens. We had guineas. But they're just as fucking mean as chickens.
Jumped up and did the Liu Kang bicycle kick, lacerated my face.
Of course.
Thing was terrible. I had to beat it with an oak branch and I thought I was gonna die. It got uppity. It would just sit on people's cars in the carport and mean mug them. People wouldn't get out of their cars. There was a chicken taking over the.
This lady that used to watch me when I was a kid, she had a goat that was raised with dogs, and so he thought he was a dog. Like he put his feet up on you and everything.
Oh, you should take that to the internet, man. You can get so many Tumblr points out of that.
I was like maybe 10 or 11 at this time. But,
Shame.
I know.
Shame.
He would like crawl up on the couch with you, and it's like, dude, you're a fucking goat. Go away.
You smell like somebody jizzed on an old boot.
You literally smell like a goat. Just fuck off. No, he thought he was a dog. It's fucking crazy.
Goats.
Goats.
That's where it's at.
I'm telling you. The goats of the future, people.
You ever play Goat Simulator? I can't believe that's a thing.
That is a thing. Oh, no. That I can perceive as being a thing. What about like some of the big rig simulator or the train simulator?
Farming simulator?
A combine harvester simulator.
I don't understand. People are trying to monetize anything.
Just go be
and there's so much niche crap.
I mean, just go drive one. Just go behind a car.
Have you ever actually driven one of them things?
No, I haven't.
I've been out in the flyover country in the cornfield. You couldn't pay me enough money to get in that stupid thing.
Sounds miserable.
You drive up and down at like 5 miles an hour.
You see, Jess, you could just download this app and hook up a joystick or something like that to your computer, and then you too can drive a combine harvester, Jess. I mean, for the low price of $19.95.
I don't want to be that guy who's like, something wrong with the world today, Jesus. But I think the world is pretty great, but there's some fucked up shit in it.
There's some very fucked up shit. What? I really don't understand some games like that. I've been playing a game called Don't Starve, and it's really fun. But then you're like,
you grow a beard big enough to cover your body, so you don't die in the winter.
Of course,
those things make me so mad. I couldn't. I own that game. I played it for like 5 minutes. I was like, nope.
You see, what I end up doing is I get to a point where I'm constantly failing. Like, I'll die, and it pisses me off so much because I put so much time into it. It's like, fuck you, I'm going to cheat. But I'm just going to cheat a little bit. And so I'll bring in, like, a thing that'll keep me alive or something that's, just a marginal improvement just to sort of make things a little bit easier. And then every single challenge I get to from then on is like, I could just solve this with a few lines of code here, and we're done. So I end up breaking the game for myself. It just becomes too easy.
They came out with a game like that on Steam a while back where you couldn't win. You just had to open up the debug menu for every element in the game, and you could make it do whatever you wanted.
Really?
Like you could get the regular sword came out, and you could just set it to where it did a jillion damage to things.
That sounds like fun, actually.
It was pretty cool if you're into that kind of thing. I don't have the patience for it.
That's one thing with games that I don't have anymore is patience. Like if it's not hooked me in and given me some stupid repetitive task to do for hours on end, within the first 5 minutes I can't.
Oh, I'll do. I can't. I want to hit something. I don't want to have to read a newspaper.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Some of them I really enjoyed Mass Effect story.
Oh yeah, that was well.
Up until a point.
Until it doo-dooed on itself.
Until EA bought it.
Razum Frazum.
Yeah. But I didn't, there are some good stories out there in games. And sometimes requires.
I mean, The Last of Us was insane.
I never.
Oh my god!
I followed I know there was a big stink about it, but I didn't.
There wasn't a stink about it. It was so great.
Well, that's what I meant. I
went up there.
It was a big to do.
I shot me some medical offices in there. You ain't gonna take my baby girl. Bap bap.
But yeah, see that I think would probably get me on a different level because I do have kids.
It was scary as hell too. It was immersive.
I've heard some really good stuff about it.
Stuff in the dark. You'd be down in the basement of a hotel trying to turn the generator on because you can't see. And for about an eighth of a second, you're like, yeah, I got the light back on. But then you realize you just start a gas generator in a building full of plague zombies.
No, that doesn't make any noise at all.
Like, I've made a huge mistake.
I done fucked up now.
You got 3 bullets and a pair of scissors and you're... Oh my, Jesus, take the wheel!
Well, that was one thing I really enjoyed about Walking Dead is that whole aspect of them having to survive. But the show pisses me off so much, I end up yelling at my TV because they know certain things. They know how zombies work and all that kind of good stuff. And like midway through the series, they're still making stupid fucking decisions. And so that I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with that show.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes they're really smart, and it's like, yeah, that's how you would do that. And then sometimes
they got to do it. They're just trying to angle back around to Norman Reedus holding a baby again.
Yeah.
Which was Jesus.
That was Jesus.
Oh, my God.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
Priceless.
It was.
I want the Rictatorship to come back.
The Rictatorship.
They've gone so.
I did enjoy the Rictatorship.
It's gone so far afield from the original source work. Like Shane was dead in the first chapter.
Yeah, he was.
Everybody, people who are dead now, but so much of that TV show has been decided by casting problems.
Yep.
Like poor old Dale, he was like, "I'm tired of being a whiny shit.
Yep.
I don't want to be a whiny shit for 3 seasons. Kill me."
I like Dale to like I like this character as the group wise man, but he was a bit of a
yeah. Well, he was sick of it.
Yeah,
and that dude's a serious actor too. It wasn't like he was thirsty for a check or nothing.
Right.
Ridiculous. Netflix is supposed to be making like a standalone show with what's his face as the Punisher.
Really?
Shane.
Well, they've been doing that a lot with with their
Marvel series have been going off like gangbusters. Everybody's on that Jessica Jones.
I'm looking forward to.
I liked it, but I'm just sick to death of David Tennant.
I can understand.
I'm going to fangirl hell because I'm sick.
You're
Tennant.
totally going to fangirl hell for that. But I can understand. I get it. I think. What I'm looking forward to on Amazon, I like that these online video hosting places, but Amazon is hired Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond, James May from the BBC Top Gear series, and they're doing a car show on Amazon. I'm so looking forward to that.
Yeah, the bros in the firearms department keep telling me I need to watch Top Gear.
Oh,
but
you do? It's amazing.
I just can't make myself care about it.
It's so good. It makes you care about cars. It's great.
The British dryness is new and exciting over here in America. So everybody,
not for me. I've been into British.
Well,
British
I know
TV
you
for a
have,
long
but
time.
like the standard fan people who
they take it a little bit far
because now
it's something new to them. They've
now
just discovered.
The alphabet soup networks don't have a monopoly lock on evening television.
Right.
People are like, hey, people will buy Black. Orphan Black and.
Yeah, I liked.
Doctor Who.
I like Doctor Who, but I liked some of the more obscure stuff. I like Father Ted, Mrs. Brown's Boys. Like I like those are Irish.
Luther.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Originally it was like Are You Being Served, and I got really into British TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, I know, but
now I watch
it
if they start putting like Blackadder on.
I like Blackadder.
I'll die
it's
in
all
this
on Netflix,
building.
I think.
Blackadder's not on Netflix.
I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. At least it was.
Punch myself in the
was
junk
in
if Blackadder is on Netflix. But I just can't listen to Jeremy Clarkson, listen to them snark at each other about like I don't give a shit about.
I can only think that Jeremy Clarkson is just he's a cartoon. That's all he is. He's got to be a cartoon. He's got to know he's fake.
It's goofy.
He's goofy, exactly.
I like Stephen Fry Coming to America.
I love Stephen. Oh, that was really good. I enjoyed that.
Because he went to a body farm.
He did.
In that thing. I was like, oh, he's doing a thing that I'm slightly cogent with.
I enjoyed that series. I enjoy everything Stephen Fry's done. Really.
Yeah, Stephen Fry's great.
Yeah, he's amazing. I listened to one of his talks, and he was talking about how he had a bunch of friends over, and the prince had come to visit. That whole story was great. I recommend it. There's not really a point to that. Just that you should check out Stephen Fry.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah. Hugh Laurie. I like Hugh Laurie.
Everybody likes Hugh Laurie.
What's he been in recently besides House?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'd like to
I
see
haven't
him do
seen him.
comedy.
I think he's
doing
taking that house money.
Yeah, exactly. Probably sitting pretty. That's probably pretty
eating
paycheck.
a million Vicodins.
Yeah. If that's his thing, which should not be illegal. If you want to take a million Vicodins, I don't give a shit.
Don't take a million Vicodins.
Well, no, I'm not saying you should take a million Vicodins, but if you want to take a million Vicodins, it should be your right to take a million Vicodins. I mean, I'm not going to stop.
You know what? If you have a million Vicodins, you should find 100,000
That's
friends
true.
and
You
have
should
the
really-
baddest ass party that
You
ever
should.
happened.
That's what you should do. You could probably sell a million Vicodins for a lot of money.
A lot of Vicodin money.
Pretty chunk.
That's where it is now, man.
Now we're promoting drug dealing. You see what this podcast is about?
I didn't do it.
Well, you know,
Denial, culpability. I can't be held responsible.
they're just doing what the original monsters did back in the Prohibition days.
It's not so easy making meth as it is distilling rum.
This is very true. I wanted to try and distill liquor. Never done
It's
it.
so
Never
illegal.
had the access.
I saw a
but
pot-
I know it's very illegal, but
Yeah,
I thought
I
about
saw a real copper still in an antique store when I was out there
Really?
antiquing. Somebody had sealed it with lead, but
Fun.
you could. I mean, it's lead.
Yeah.
It was acetylene. That thing was right out.
Very
But
true.
it didn't have a coil. It was just a pot. But still,
Still, that's pretty
you're
nice.
real about your life.
I think the hard thing to get is supposed to be like the top cap for the like one of the I don't know the term.
I don't know. They had a show about it.
They did.
Called Moonshiners.
Yeah,
or
Moonshiners,
something.
and they did even. I think they did 2 documentaries on one of the guys. There's Popcorn Sutton, I think is the guy's name.
A friend of mine in the firearms department told me, who had a reality show briefly, told me that everybody on that show was like a FDA agent.
Oh,
and
I'm
it was
sure.
the whole
I'm
thing
sure
was
it
just
all just a setup.
a giant setup.
Yeah, of course. That kind of makes me wonder when you get these like investigative journalists that go into these places and like they interview like dangerous people. Like, how do they not have authorities banging down their door asking them to wear a wire or get information on where these people are located or what are they doing? It's got to be a thing that they face.
I don't know. I'm sure some
How many of them
do.
are actually given the information? You know, government throws a little cash your way. It's not like they got billions of dollars to throw away. Who's to say that's not
in a
happening?
day. Do it like that.
Yeah.
It's what happened to Pablo Escobar, man.
Yeah, good old Pablo Escobar.
They run up,
turned into a t-shirt.
Run up on him on the street, shot him on the roof.
I'm sorry, it's Che Guevara I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Good old Pablo. Come on, he was just selling something everybody wanted. He was just filling a need that everybody had. And as soon as he died, you got to argue that it became worse because he actually held a lot of shit together and it became decentralized.
Kind of like
point.
Saddam Hussein and freaking ISIS.
Yeah, exactly. He just caused more problems than
Only
you fixed.
solution is for us to just make everything a state.
I think so.
Iraq is a state.
Iraq
Puerto
is
Rico is a
Puerto
state.
Rico. Yeah, exactly.
All you're a state now.
Well, I think the only thing that would drive that would be us to have some sort of external enemy that we'd have to globally face. Either that, or it's going to be a really slow and long road before we get to something.
They're going to have to get some good ass rum cake. People
That's
are trying
very
to
true.
get without customs.
That's true. What we need to do is we need to get everybody in a room and get them really high, or drunk. Now, drunk would cause too many fist fights. I think just completely baked. LSD or some sort of psychedelic, something that's gonna like absolutely destroy them psychically or mentally, and then see what would come out of that. I think it'd just be an interesting.
What's the worst that could happen?
I mean, as long as you took away their cell phones, so they couldn't or there any communications, they couldn't call down nukes while they're tripping balls. Well, they couldn't call down the nukes on the aliens that are invading in their mind.
Aliens.
Yeah. So the aliens that are invading. So that as long as you took away their ability to do some harm where they're in that state, I think it might do some good. Maybe.
I don't know. Think of the poor translators having to work overtime for
Oh
that.
God, that would be fantastic as a translator. You would just have to throw up your hands and go, "I have no
People that were
fucking idea."
Multilingual. poor guy from Eritrea just lurched into French and Creole and somehow wandered into Spanish, and he doesn't even speak Spanish.
Well, one of my favorites when we were in Cozumel with my buddy Colin, and he speaks Spanish, but we didn't know. And there was one night we got absolutely hammered in the cigar bar, and he refused to speak anything but Spanish for like an hour. None of us at the table spoke Spanish. And yeah, that was an interesting night. It was a very interesting night. Did you know on a cruise ship, if your buddy is passed out drunk on a table, they won't tell you what room he's in? So you actually have to call security to like come and put his ass in a wheelchair and wheel him to his fucking room.
That's cold-blooded.
I know. He had his room key around his neck.
I feel like you might have asked that at an earlier point in time.
We did. We asked him what room, and his response was "fuck you," I believe. And then he proceeded to passing out on the table.
Earlier.
Yes.
Earlier than that. Just everybody
they probably
write
should have
it
gone
down.
that point. But
Safety pin it to your collar.
We had smuggled a bunch of booze onto the ship, and it was the last night, so we're trying to get rid of the booze. How you do this, folks, by the way, is through a Nestle tea bottle.
I'm taking notes.
You can heat up the cap under some hot water and take it off without breaking the little sealing ring. Dump it out, fill it full of whiskey, close it back up. Looks just like tea. So we brought a bunch of whiskey and vodka and shit like that in water bottles. That's how you smoke, because they look for that little broken seal on the top ring. If that's not broken, they'll let you have it. So we managed to smuggle on a bunch of booze because it's fucking expensive on a cruise. And we took that booze to, like, that last night, we had pretty much spent the entire cruise drinking buckets of beer, so we hadn't really touched the smuggled on hooch. And so that last night, we busted it out. And we're looking over at Colin, and he finished one of those Nest tea bottles full of whiskey.
Yep.
And about a quarter more after that. And by the way, that hurricane had just come through the Gulf, so the whole, and our room is at the front of the ship, so the whole place is just rolling like crazy. So we go to walk down the hall, and we see Colin just sort of walking down the hall, and the ship rolls, and he just fucking disappears down a fucking hallway. It was great. It was wonderful. But he said we talked to him the next day. He woke up at about 2 after we got him back to his room. I'm like, so Colin, what do you? He asked us what had happened. We're like, well, tell us what you remember, and we'll fill in the blanks for you. And he remembers coming to our room and drinking, and that's it. He doesn't remember winding up in the cigar bar or hanging out in the casino or anything like that.
That's how you know you won.
Yeah, he won at drinking that night, man. He was, wow. It's rare that I've seen anybody that drunk.
Burn the ability to make memories out of your brain for an hour.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, there was a point in time I had to take the place of one of the guys that was with us. His girlfriend was getting rather cozy with Colin, but not by her choice. So I changed places, and Colin got all friendly with me. It was wonderful.
Pow, pow, pow.
But I took one for the team. But poor Colin, man, he was stuck in Spanish for a long time. None of us spoke Spanish, and then we tried to get his room out of him. He had the key so we could get in, but it didn't work out.
There's only one thing left to do. 111 111
Yeah.
No. 111 111 112.
Well, he had roommates, and so we could have just gone like room by room. We just needed the room number. We had a key. We didn't get it out of him. So we had
Ungenerous bastards.
Yeah, he said he had gotten a notice from security the next day letting him know he was banned from drinking for like 24 hours or something. Yeah. It was. I didn't like the cruise, by the way. I don't like cruises. It's not me.
Not enough booze?
No, it's not a hotel I can leave. It's just a hotel I can't leave with some very shitty entertainment. I mean, maybe if they had something on the cruise that was worth going to see, but
no such thing as shitty entertainment when you have enough booze, man.
Well, that was the thing. It was pretty much a week-long bender. That's all I did, and by the end of it, my liver hated me. But I was drunk almost the entire time I was there. Because what else are we going to do?
I don't understand your arguments, man. It sounds like a badass time to me.
You go to the comedy club and you're like, all right, well, what do you want to do? It's like, I don't know, this comedy dude sucks. Let's get another bucket of beer.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we punished it. And then one of my favorite things was when we actually got to Cozumel. I really enjoyed that because we didn't go to any of the touristy places. Our first thing was get in a taxi and get the fuck out of the touristy areas. So we had our taxi driver take us to where he drinks. And they were the nicest fucking people on the face of the planet. It was 5 or 6 of us. We drank like a bottle of tequila and 2.5 cases of beer and ate all the food we could possibly eat. Bill was like $65. We doubled it. I mean, but it was just awesome. None of them spoke English except for our taxi driver. It was great. It was an awesome time. Best time I had, and I'm so glad I stayed out of the touristy areas. I had no interest in buying shit, apart from the duty-free shop, which I walked back with.
But yeah.
Lots of tequila.
Just got to get off the track every now and then.
Exactly.
Which is usually illegal.
That's true. Everything I want to do is usually illegal. So I am going to try and jump out of a plane. I don't know why I say try. I'm going to jump out of a plane.
You're going to jump out of a plane, hit your face on the door jamb, fall back into the plane.
Yeah, that's probably how that's going to happen. That I'm going to piss myself all the way down, and I feel bad for the guy I'm strapped to.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm totally.
So I don't do it a second. Just jump out of the plane immediately. Shit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to put myself in an adult diaper.
0 to in no time.